And I'm joined in the studio now by our International Affairs Editor, Kethevane Gorjestani. Hi, Kethevane.
Hello.
Would you take us through this famously complicated system?
Well, there is what is called early voting, and it's something that really got the spotlight in 2020 because of the COVID pandemic. And the numbers really show how that early voting has expanded over the years. In 2000, 40% of U.S. voters had access to some form of early voting. In 2024, that number is now to 97%. And we're going to go through this map that you see there, the voting option by state. Basically, you have 36 states that offered both early in-person, meaning you go to a polling station and you cast your ballot, or mail-in options that are known as no-excuse mail-in ballots, meaning that anybody can vote by mail, no excuses needed. States like California or Hawaii, for example, even send those mail-in ballots automatically. You don't even have to request them. You get them, and then you make your choice in person or by mail. Then you have the 11 states in orange, states like Texas, like Louisiana, Tennessee. These are states that offer also that early in-person voting to everyone, but they have certain eligibility criteria for those who want to vote by mail. For example, you can have an age criteria, those older than 65, the people who are disabled, people who might be traveling during the election period, but you have to give an actual excuse. And then finally, you have those 3 states in red, Alabama, Mississippi, and New Hampshire. These are the 3 states where you don't have any form of in-person early voting, and the mail-in ballots also have some requirements in order to be doing that. So they mostly vote in person on election day. But you're going to see really something that we saw in 2020 happen very likely, because if you look at the numbers in 2020, it's pretty incredible. There were 158 million Americans who cast their ballot. More than 100 million of those did it early in some way or another. You see there, only 27% of people voted in person on election day, and nearly 2/3 of U.S. voters voted early. 27% decided to do it early in person. 46% decided to vote by mail. And of course, this has a little bit of an impact on the results of the election, because there is a political split between those who vote early, those who vote by mail, and those who vote on election day. Traditionally and generally speaking, Trump voters are more likely to vote either early in person, but even more likely to vote on election day. And Democratic voters, so the Biden voters in 2020, and likely the Kamala Harris voters this time, are more likely to vote early in person or by mail, and less likely to vote on election day. So it is a very complicated system, but that is to say that not everybody is going to wait until November 5th to actually cast their ballot.
Now, of course, Trump and Harris had their first and possibly, it's important to say, their last televised debate on Tuesday. We've had the first polls since then on voting intentions. What can you tell us about where the race stands at this moment in time?
Look, it's always hard to predict the impact of a debate on the final result. But what we know is that the first polling, post-debate polling that we see, seems to be indicating that Kamala Harris got a little bit of a bump, at least for now, from that debate that an overwhelming number of viewers thought she actually won. And several national polls show that she's maybe gotten a bump of 1 or maybe 2 points, better than what was the situation right before the debate, which was this talk of that her momentum had sort of stalled. But we know that national polls are not really anything of importance in U.S. elections. It's the battleground state that are important, and we're looking there at what the situation is. You have basically 7 states, those states in yellow that are the battleground states. The picture right now is that Harris is a little bit ahead in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Trump is a little bit ahead in Georgia and Arizona, and Nevada and North Carolina are tied. The important part is you have to get to 270 electoral college vote. And for Kamala Harris, that 270 goes through the blue wall, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
Kethevane Gorjestani, thank you very much.